New videos every day.
Have you noticed that American waistlines are getting bigger and bigger? Does it seem like when you go out in public, there are more and more people that are overweight or obese? Why is it that the American obesity rate has more than doubled since 1980? How on earth did 7 out of every 10 Americans become overweight? Why is it that 1 in 3 Americans are now considered medically obese? How in the hell did America become the fattest country in the world? Obesity has become the second leading cause of preventable death in the United States. And obesity-related diseases like heart disease and diabetes are growing to epidemic proportions. So how did America become so fat? What if I told you that the same foods that ranchers use to fatten up their cows, pigs, and chickens are the same foods that comprise the average American diet? Is it possible that the American people are being fattened up just like farm animals? That's right, the same foods they use to purposefully fatten up farm animals are being sold in volume to the American people. So it should really come as no surprise that we're getting fattened up too. To make matters worse, animals are actually being fed more natural versions of the food than we are. We're being fed the processed and refined versions of these foods, which absolutely make them more fattening. That's right, the food industry is fattening up Americans the same way they fatten up farm animals. Oink, oink. And to make matters worse, we as Americans are paying over $200 billion every year to eat their super fattening crap. While Americans have been running around trying to figure out how to lose weight, the ranching and agriculture industry has been running around trying to figure out how to make their animals fatter. After all, meat is sold by the pound, so the fatter that farm animal is when it's sold for the slaughter, the more money that Farmer Joe makes. The methods used to fatten up farm animals are far from mysterious. They are well known and carefully calculated. They basically consist of feeding the animal foods that are not a part of its natural diet and that are known to cause massive weight gain. These are the same foods that are used in the average American diet and the same foods that are fattening us up just like cows. Foods that are not a part of our natural diet and foods that are known to cause obesity. So what are these foods? Cattle are fattened in feedlots where they're fed some straw or hay and supplemented with corn, grains like wheat and barley, and soy so that the animal is getting an energy-dense diet. An energy-dense diet means that you're feeding the animal more carbohydrates than it needs, and that excess sugar turns into fat. Cattle which are corn-fed, grain-fed, or corn-finished are fed corn and soy and wheat for several months prior to slaughter because corn is a high-starch, high-density food that is known to dramatically decrease the amount of time it takes to fatten that cow up. And as I've pointed out in several videos, the average American diet is full of corn and wheat. Only the corn and wheat that we're being fed is even more processed and more refined to increase the amount of sugar in the food, decrease the amount of fiber, vitamins, and minerals, to make that food even tastier and hence even more fattening. That's the high fructose corn syrup that you find in everything from soda pop, ice cream, candies, cakes, loaves of bread, to even the more unsuspected items like salad dressing and barbecue sauce. And that's the refined wheat flour that we find in hamburger buns, tortillas, cookies, cakes, pies, pasta, and other bakery items. These manufactured foods are even more fattening than the whole corn and grain that they use to purposefully fatten up farm animals. And we're spending billions of dollars on these foods. Fast food and soda alone, we spend more than $200 billion a year to buy. That's us paying them to make us fat. And as I mentioned earlier, cows do not naturally eat wheat or corn. They eat grass, and a grass-fed cow is going to be a lot skinnier than its corn or grain-fed cousins. And the same thing goes for piggies. A wild boar is going to be a lot more lean than the obese, domesticated livestock version of a pig. And as you might imagine, the same thing goes for people, and people on a natural diet are a lot less obese. Look, our bodies evolved over millions of years eating a natural diet, and it's really only been in the last 50 years or so that refined wheat and refined corn have become such a significant part of our caloric intake. So it's really no wonder that we should see the obesity rates skyrocketing with this huge increased consumption of processed, refined foods. The claim that the human body is genetically programmed to overeat is complete bullshit. In populations where they eat an indigenous diet of local, naturally grown foods, they have virtually no obesity. If you're tired of being overweight, then just stop eating the refined and processed corn and wheat products that are fattening us all up just like piggies on a farm. If you have questions about what you should eat, just watch more of my videos. The more you learn about nutrition, the more you will be able to control and regulate your own health, as well as your own waistline. In the end, you will become a healthier, happier, and leaner person instead of a low-energy, tired, grumpy, and constantly hungry one. If you haven't given me a thumbs up yet, I would appreciate you doing so. And if you think this information is useful, please share it with your friends on Facebook. If you want to learn about what the difference between superfoods and junk foods are, you can check out this video right here. And if you want to learn why junk food is designed to be addictive and make you eat more, you can click this video here. And if you're interested in finding out why people yo-yo diet and why diets fail, you can check out this video down here. And if you'd like to learn the 10 easy differences between whole and processed foods, you can watch this one down here. Thanks.